Till morning. It's cleared up and we've had to look for a little bit of shelter from the rain a little bit early on. I mean, if I look out right now, it's cleared a little bit. There's still a little bit of cloud, but it's cleared up. Well, that's Cape Town for you, 4 seasons in a day. But I am now joined by a former MK soldier who spent time on the Robben Island at around about the same time as former State President Nelson Mandela, Mr. Oliver Nqubelani. Sir, thank you very much and thank you for joining us. Today must be quite a sad day for you.
Indeed, but a very inspiring one, because we are one of those people who have been privileged to have met Utata when we came back, having been arrested on MK activities, landing in Robben Island. Although it was so very, very difficult to meet Baba Tata. But we had those encounters, like, for example, when they are going to their sports sessions or going to the visit session, where one had that privilege of having a personal contact, no Baba, shake your hand and call you my boy and tell my boy, what are you doing? Tell him, Baba, no, I'm studying, I'm doing BCom. My boy, you must study. This is a place for intellectuals. You remember those words. He was such a fatherly figure. Any advices on the Robben Island, you had some encounters with the warders. Baba Mandela would always come into, you didn't receive your money for your studies, Baba will share whatever he's having, because Baba taught that spirit of collectivism. Whatever money he got from overseas in charity, he will share with the comrades in the form of food, bread, biscuits, and that. He was that fatherly figure, and I must say, just to meet him, it was a big encounter. I mean, he always took a personal interest to each and every individual. I remember at one time when he was asking me, well, originally, my boy, where are you from? I told him, no, I'm from Eastern Cape, although I'm a Cape Townian this year. He would talk and tell you about so and so and so, because he knows people, and then you'll be surprised. He seems to remember all these things. Even when you meet him, he will still call you by name.
What was some advice that you can recall that he had given you?
Education, that said, my boy, you must study, you must study, you must study. This country is for the young people. That one is always sitting in my head as one of the highlights, yes.
Did you study? What did you study?
Yeah, I did. Out of those inspiration, I finished my BCom degree, having disrupted it while I was in the University of Fort Hare, but I finished it and come big colors in 1991 when I graduated, yeah.
Tell us how, right now as South Africa, as Parliament where we are today, how do we make sure that as a nation we continue to live out the values that Madiba so bravely enthused around the world?
It's very important. I took a cue from what Ubaba Thabo said yesterday. We're saying we must take a deep introspection. We young leaders who are in the government, in the ANC branches, in the community, we should be humble. We should lead people like the way Madiba did. I must say, unfortunately, we tended to sway away from the rails. But we should use this occasion as a deep introspection and as a deep lesson, build a legacy for our children and for the generations to come.
So thank you very much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. That was Mr. Oliver Nqubelani. He is a former MK soldier that was arrested and sentenced to 20 years on Robben Island, arriving there in 1980. And shared the island with Madiba from 1980 onwards. He was just recalling some of the advice that he was given by Madiba. He said to us now that Madiba was very strict on issues of education and getting young people such as himself at the time to study. Now, we are now standing right outside the National Assembly, where people have been coming in since this morning. People are now slowly starting to make their way towards the gallery, where they will be seated from around 12:30 onwards. The special joint sitting of Parliament, remember, starts at 2 o'clock. Now, I'm not sure if you can see, right behind me, there is a place where you can sign a book of condolences, and it's where many people who have come to visit Parliament today have been signing their condolences and their messages of support to the Madiba family. Now Parliament will archive those, so people who are here are essentially writing themselves into South Africa's history today, literally and figuratively. We will continue to monitor the situation from Parliament. It's starting to get quiet as people are moving towards the different venues where they will be seated for the special joint sitting of Parliament, and then at about 2, we will then hopefully bring you that sitting live right here on SABC. But for now, from Parliament, we cross you back to studio in Johannesburg.